Blimey, I thought it was a burglar or something.
They're up. Oh, look.
Oh, good. Well, we're getting somewhere.
Oh, Douglas is biggest.
Who?
Douglas, my bean. He's biggest.
Don't you mean specimen A?
No, I mean Douglas. He is biggest. Now, quick, come on, let's measure him.
All right. Douglas B.
Shh. Well?
Douglas. Specimen A is the biggest. The control comes second, and my rotten little stinker at the end is the smallest.
Mr. Wakeling was right.
I think I ought to tell you that the difference is minimal.
Well, it's still a difference, isn't it?
Yes, I know it is, but, let's just see the week out before we write our learned paper to the Royal Society.
You don't seem very excited.
You shouldn't get excited in science. It's not seemly. I bet Albert Einstein didn't charge round his house shouting, "Oh, blimey, listen, everybody, space is curved."
Rubbish, Archimedes ran down the street shouting Eureka.
Only because his bathwater was too hot.
Where did you get that?
From the attic.
Is it ours?
Is it ours? This is the worldly good I endowed you with when we got married.
Yes, so it is. It was on its last legs then. You'd had it since you were 4.
It's still a piece of precision engineering. This'll see us out.
I think you will. You can't use it. They don't make, those wax cylinders nowadays.
78s, and I've got one.
But what's it for, Tom?
I'm going to play it to the plants in the garden, see if they grow any bigger than last year. If so... Yes, Mr. Wakeling's other theory. It's worth a go.
What's the record?
Peter Dawson singing the Bandolero.
I don't think I know that one.
It's marvellous. Absolutely marvellous. We always used to play this after tea on Sunday. After the cucumber sandwiches and the Battenberg. Yes. Great days. The old days.
I am the bandolero, the bandolero. I rule the mountains and I sing, and on the band that comes my way. I am the bandolero, king with a song.
Margo will be here in a moment. Anything I can get anybody?
No.
No? Uh-huh. Yes. Margo will be here in a moment.
I'm so sorry, everyone. Couldn't get Johnny Hanson to put the telephone down. Oh, I see you've brought your trusty old pipe along, Mr. Chipchase. Do open the French windows, Jerry.
Well, you won't be wanting me...
but we will, Jerry. I've taken the liberty of preparing a little champagne buffet for later. Oh, I'm so sorry, Madam Acting Chairwoman. Do carry on.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Ledbetter. I call this extraordinary meeting of the Music Society to order. As you know, we are here to elect a president to our society for the forthcoming year. As you also know, there are 2 candidates for this high office, Mrs. Ledbetter and Miss Munch.
A point of order.
Mr. Chipchase.
I still think it is unconstitutional and indeed underhanded to hold an election while Miss Munchaft is on holiday in Greece.
May I reply? Please do. Do learn your society's rules, Mr. Chipchase. There are sufficient members here to form a quorum. It is perfectly legal.
Yes.
I still think it's unfair to Miss Munchaft.
I don't see why. You seem more than an adequate mouthpiece for her. Is that a burn? Well, as I seem to have the floor, there are just 1 or 2 remarks I should like to make. Firstly, I did not seek office. It is simply that I seem to have been chosen as the standard bearer for those of us who seek to put a more professional gloss on our productions.
Hear, hear.
Now, let me touch on Dolly Manshaft for a moment.
Here we go. Vilification.
No, Mr. Chipchase. Admiration. No one is more aware than I of how much Dolly Manshaft has put into this society. And no one is more aware of the awful toll it has taken on her general health, her nerves, and her voice. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if at this moment Dolly were not sitting in some taverna with her bottle of ouzo, almost wishing that she loses this election.
She doesn't even know about it.
And if I am chosen to take up the tiller of our little ship, I shall do so humbly. And in so doing, I shall call upon all of you to wish dear Dolly a happy harbour in the back row of the chorus. Where are you going, Jerry? There's no time for that. We're coming up to the voting. I want you to pass around the voting slips, please.
Yes, of course. No.
I still feel, Madam Acting
May I
Chairwoman...
close with 3 little points concerning what I can offer. 1. Fundraising activities on a scale never dreamt of by dear, unworldly Dolly. For example, Jeremy, my husband, has already promised the society a cheque for £200. Assuming I'm elected. 2, a guaranteed season at the town hall.
But we've been banned. After The Sound of Music, the mayor said we gave the borough a bad name.
I had lunch with Charles yesterday. It wasn't so much our performance, you know. He was just a little hurt that Miss Manshaft forgot the customary bouquet of flowers for the mayoress.
Nevertheless,
And
Madam
3, rehearsal facilities. My home. Of course, one remembers very fondly those bohemian evenings in Miss Manshaft's flatlet in the High Street. That jolly cup of cocoa, sound of little children playing overhead. How many of them were there, I wonder? Of course, I can't provide all that. All I can offer is what you see. A spacious, moderately comfortable environment. A little haven of peace and tranquility.
Hello, my darling Douglas. How are you? You are the most wonderful little bean, you know. And if I was a little girl bean, do you
You
know
did
what
deliberately, didn't you? You just had to. I shall never forgive you, never.
What are you on about?
You playing that wretched music in the garden.
That is Peter Dawson.
I don't care who it is. You have just ruined my whole election campaign.
Good.
How dare you?
Well, why not? You just ruined our experiment.
Douglas. Oh, he's supposed to have nothing but no. No, you ratting and raving. Oh, honestly, Margo, I could murder you sometimes. Oh, Douglas. Oh, Douglas.
Who's Douglas?
My bean, my bean.
Oh, really, Barbara, do keep a sense of proportion.
Now, look here, Margo. I am...
Madam President,
What?
congratulations.
You mean I'm the president? In spite of Peter Dawson?
Obviously.
Oh, Jerry. Oh, Barbara. Oh.
Don't you cuddle me, please. You have just stunted Douglas's growth.
I'm so sorry. Well, Jerry will write out a cheque for any damage I've done.
It's my function, you know.
Yes. Well, I must get back.
Yeah, and I warn you, Margo, you haven't heard the last of Peter Dawson.
Oh, I hope not. He was a fine artiste. A fine artiste.
How much do I owe you?
Well, I mean, it's a week's work up the spout. We've got to start from scratch now.
How much?
Well, I don't know. I mean, how can you put a price on a scientific experiment? What are the grants the government pay to research botanists?
How much?
Tubbs.
Well, Peter, mate, you didn't get a knighthood, but you got the next best thing. Margo approves of you.
I'm getting worried about you.
What?
Well, this talking to things is getting out of hand. You're even talking to gramophone records now.
I'm hoping it'll grow into an LP.
Do you think music has an effect on animals?
Well, some farmers use music in the cowshed. They claim it increases the milk yield. Perhaps you should try it with Geraldine.
What about chickens?
No, you can't milk chickens.
No, I mean their eggs.
It's not very likely, is it?
No, that's what I thought. Only,
Only what?
well,
Peter, mate, I've always believed in you. You know that, don't you?